For over 3 decades, Stephen Colbert was more than just a man behind a desk telling jokes. He became a cultural force, a sharp-witted commentator who blurred the lines between comedy and news, and a nightly companion for millions of viewers seeking both laughter and insight. Colbert's journey began as a correspondent on The Daily Show, where his quick humor and clever delivery made him a standout. But it was the Colbert Report that truly launched him into the spotlight as he created and embodied a satirical, conservative pundit. A character so convincing, some viewers weren't sure if he was serious or joking. Through this persona, Colbert dissected modern politics with razor-sharp irony, holding a funhouse mirror up to the absurdities of the news cycle. His show became a place where audiences could laugh, reflect, and question the world around them, all at the same time. In 2015, Colbert took over The Late Show, stepping out from behind his character but never losing his signature wit. He reinvented the show, blending sharp political commentary with heartfelt interviews, and quickly became a nightly comfort for millions navigating turbulent times. Colbert's monologue became a ritual for viewers, a place to process the chaos of the day, laugh at the absurd, and challenge those in power. His unique blend of humor and honesty made his show a trusted space for both entertainment and reflection. Week after week, he consistently topped late-night ratings, proving that smart, thoughtful comedy was not only wanted, but essential in a rapidly changing world. More than just a host, Colbert built a community, a gathering place for viewers overwhelmed by politics, where they could find both solace and solidarity in shared laughter. What set Colbert apart was his ability to pivot seamlessly from silly to serious, from biting satire to genuine empathy. This made his show essential viewing, a rare space where comedy and conscience met. So, when the news broke that his show was canceled, it wasn't just another TV shakeup. It felt like a cultural earthquake, leaving fans and critics alike stunned and searching for answers. For his loyal audience, it was like losing a friend, a trusted voice, and a nightly dose of sanity in an unpredictable world. The loss was deeply personal for many. The story of The Late Show's demise is about more than just television. It's a story about power, money, and the ever-shifting landscape of free speech in America, raising questions about who gets to speak, who gets to laugh, and who decides what we see. The end of The Late Show began with a story tailor-made for Colbert, a story so surreal it almost seemed written for late-night satire. It was the kind of headline that demanded a punchline, but the reality was stranger than fiction. Paramount, Colbert's own parent company, quietly paid a staggering $16 million settlement to Donald Trump. The news broke like a thunderclap, sending shockwaves through the entertainment world and beyond. The payment, officially tied to a 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris, raised more than a few eyebrows. To many, it looked less like a routine legal settlement and more like a thinly veiled bribe, an attempt to keep powerful interests happy. Colbert didn't hold back. On air, he called out the payment, labeling it a big fat bribe, directly challenging his own network in front of millions of viewers. It was a rare moment of candor, and it took guts. This wasn't just comedy, it was a direct hit on the hypocrisy that often goes unchecked in both corporate boardrooms and the halls of political power. Colbert's monologue blurred the line between satire and whistleblowing. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Paramount was finalizing an $8 billion sale to Skydance Media. The deal needed FCC approval, a decision that would ultimately rest with a Trump-controlled administration. The timing was impossible to ignore. Here was a massive media corporation seeking a crucial favor from the very man they just paid millions to. The optics were, at best, questionable. Colbert's monologue became more than just a punchline. It was a direct challenge to a sensitive corporate strategy, and a public airing of dirty laundry that executives would have preferred to keep hidden. Was his cancellation an act of fear, a calculated move to silence an internal critic before a high-stakes merger? The question lingered in the air, unanswered. Paramount insisted the decision was purely financial, citing ratings and revenue. But for many, the timing made that explanation hard to swallow. The dots were there for everyone to connect, and the pattern was hard to ignore. The story had all the makings of a classic media scandal. The stage was set for a major showdown, one that would test the limits of truth, power, and the price of speaking out. After CBS announced the cancellation, all eyes were on Colbert. The news sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, and speculation swirled about how he would respond. Would he retreat quietly, or would he confront the controversy head-on? He walked on stage to a thunderous ovation, visibly moved but resolute. The energy in the room was electric, as if everyone present knew they were witnessing a pivotal moment in late-night history. He declared, "The gloves are off," promising to speak truth to power for as long as he could. Colbert's voice rang with conviction, signaling that he would not be cowed by network decisions or political pressure. Colbert mocked the company's claim of $40 million in losses, joking he could account for his $24 million salary, then asked, "Where did the other $16 million go?" The audience roared, sensing the deeper truth behind the humor. The line landed like a bombshell, a direct reference to the Trump settlement. It was a moment of audacious clarity, cutting through corporate spin with razor-sharp wit. Then, Colbert dropped all pretense and addressed Trump directly. "Go fuck yourself." The words echoed with years of pent-up frustration, a culmination of his ongoing battle with political hypocrisy. The theater erupted, a cathartic moment for him and his audience. It was more than applause. It was a collective release, a shared act of defiance. This wasn't just television, it was a statement of intent. Colbert was using his platform to challenge not just his critics, but the very system that tried to silence him. Colbert made it clear he wouldn't be silenced by what he saw as political cowardice. He was determined to keep the conversation alive, no matter the cost. He vowed to use his final months to be more fearless than ever, promising his audience that the fight was far from over. His cancellation became a running commentary on the forces that brought it about. Each night, he dissected the motives and machinations behind the scenes, refusing to let the story fade away. He turned a terrible situation into his most powerful material yet, transforming pain and outrage into laughter and solidarity. You can cancel a show, but you can't easily cancel a voice. Colbert proved that, standing tall as a symbol of resistance and resilience in the face of adversity. News of Colbert's cancellation quickly reached Mar-a-Lago, and Trump wasted no time gloating. On Truth Social, he celebrated Colbert's firing, mocking his talent and ratings, ignoring the fact Colbert was number one. Trump saw this as the first domino, warning Kimmel and Fallon they'd be next. His message, "Criticize me, and you'll face consequences." Trump framed the cancellation as a personal victory, a result of his power. This poured gasoline on the fire, fueling suspicions of political motivation. The optics were terrible. A corporation cancels its top Trump critic, and Trump takes credit. It looked like appeasement, a media giant bowing to political pressure. Trump's posts tried to create a chilling effect across late night, but instead of intimidating comedians, his gloating only galvanized them. The comedy world united in support of Colbert. Trump's victory backfired, strengthening their resolve to keep speaking out. The comedy world's response was immediate and unified. Trump hoped to isolate Colbert, but instead, he brought comedians together. Rivalries vanished as hosts recognized an attack on one was an attack on all. Kimmel, Myers, and Oliver dedicated parts of their shows to defending Colbert. Stars from across entertainment appeared on The Late Show, not to promote, but to stand with Stephen. I joined them, a visual show of solidarity. We reminded Paramount that comedians share a purpose to question authority through humor. Colbert's cancellation felt like a threat to the foundation of satire. The outpouring of support turned the story into a battle over the soul of comedy and free speech. It gave Colbert the strength to keep fighting, making his final months a testament to speaking truth to power. On The Daily Show, I had to address Colbert's cancellation. This was about more than one program. It was about corporate influence over a supposedly free press. I asked, was this really a financial decision, or just the easiest path for an $8 billion merger? Paramount's executives, supposed stewards of public trust, looked like they were appeasing power. It was preemptive surrender trading dissent for a smoother merger. This is a pattern, profit over principle, justified with spreadsheets but rooted in cowardice. By canceling Colbert, Paramount sent a signal. They'd play ball with the administration. It was corporate censorship, sacrificing a beloved show for business. I turned to my audience and made it clear. This message was for any corporation trading public discourse for private gain. Together, we chanted our frustration at those who'd rather capitulate than stand up for free speech. The fight wasn't just Colbert's, it was for everyone who values independent voices. CBS and Paramount claimed the cancellation was about money, leaking that The Late Show lost $40.50 million a year. On paper, it sounded apolitical, just business. But skepticism was rampant. Colbert's show was #1, a ratings powerhouse. The math didn't add up. The financial excuse felt like a smokescreen. Fox's Gutfeld had recently surpassed The Late Show in viewership, but Colbert's audience was still massive. Why cancel a flagship show instead of retooling it? The timing, right after Colbert's bribe comments and during the merger, was too coincidental. For many, it looked like a political calculation dressed up as a financial one. The cancellation sparked a wave of public and political backlash. Fans didn't just accept the decision. They organized protests outside the Ed Sullivan Theater. Their signs and chants made it clear this was seen as a political act, not just a business move. The protests became a daily fixture, a visible rejection of the corporate narrative. The outcry reached Washington, with senators like Elizabeth Warren calling for a federal investigation into the $16 million settlement. The story escalated from entertainment news to political scandal, putting Paramount's merger under scrutiny. Inside the theater, the audience's support for Colbert was overwhelming. Guests like Sandra Oh offered emotional solidarity. The public response showed this was more than a TV show. It was a cultural flashpoint. It exposed deep anxieties about corporate power and political intimidation. The Late Show's cancellation was deeply personal for Colbert. On his first night back, he was visibly moved, admitting his nerves and telling the audience, "I will miss you." This episode is a case study in the collision of media, money, and politics. It shows even the most beloved voice can be silenced if it becomes inconvenient to power. Paramount's decision sent a chilling message. Criticism has a cost. Colbert's legacy is one of brilliant comedy and moral clarity, but its cancellation is a warning. Free speech is fragile when it faces concentrated power. Colbert's stand ignited a national conversation, reminding us that defending free discourse requires courage and participation.